The Get It On Show presents the following program in the public interest.
Today on Get It On, we'll take a look at the people behind Arizona's only humor magazine, the Razz Revue. For 5 years now, Razz editors Dan Harshberger and Robert Bell have created a unique style of Southwestern humor, which has largely gone unnoticed by the public. We'll talk with Dan and Bob about their publication, their humor, and their current plans for a syndicated radio show. Also scheduled a look at the Razz Revue recording session and a sneak preview of some original material from the radio show. All this and more when Get It On continues.
This Sunday at 12:30, Get It On presents the laughingstock of Arizona, the state's longest-running and only humor magazine, the Razz Revue. We'll take a look at the unique style of Southwestern humor that has made the Razz virtually unknown in this area. We'll also have some outrageous films of the new Razz Revue radio show. And 1974 gubernatorial candidate Wonderful Russ will be on hand to share some comic insight. Be sure to see the Razz Get It On this Sunday at 12:30 on TV5.
By 1970, it became evident that the literary sophistication of Arizona demanded a publication which could meet their high standards of erudition and humor. Thus was the basis for the Razz Revue. By 1972, noted Kingman artist Bob Bell and prominent Kingman artist Dan Harshberger began the onerous task of creating a slick local humor magazine. But funds were scarce. The two intrepid jokesters undertook every aspect of the magazine's production. These two mere mortals could not handle this gargantuan task alone. Thus was ad man Tom Scott enlisted into the ranks, embellishing the staff with his own witty style. At first, the jokes came slowly despite the long hours of the late-night pun sessions, but laughter soon rewarded their hard work and diligence. Nevertheless, all was not well with the Razz. In spite of an efficient distribution system, sales were still lagging. Intensive efforts by the staff were initiated to reverse this trend. Today, the Razz Revue can be found all over Arizona, its pages bringing joy to the literary elite of our state.
Good evening, I'm Rick Brucing, and I'll be your host today with Get It On. Today I have the pleasure of being with Dan Harshberger and Bob Bell, the editors and publishers of the Razz Revue. And what other types of activities? I understand that you're involved in some other activities other than the magazine right now.
I'm
what
married.
are those? You're married? Yeah. And I know you're playing in the band, but aren't you involved in some radio syndications now?
Right, we sure are. We haven't got it syndicated yet, but we're in the process of finding out what syndication means.
Okay. Now, I understand that you have brought a film clip of the production of that series right now. You
Yeah,
have
right.
it with us in the
So
studio
I would like
today?
to say that the radio show is, it's on the Doper Roper, and it'll be shown nationwide. Should we look at the film now, Rick?
Okay,
Let's
that'd be
take a look
great.
at it.
All right.
I had an old dog, and his name was Purple. He drank Jack Daniels on his back and gurgled. Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle.
Cattail Records proudly presents the greatest country and western collection of all-time greatest hits. Included in this incredible package are your favorites. Favorites like Yesterday's Outlaws or Tomorrow's Fat Cats by Waylon Benny's. Also Johnny Credit, the Bowling Alley Blues. Also Dave Dudhead's fabulous 8 Days on the John. Also Charlie Welloff and Behind Closet Doors. Plus Hank Williams' all-time liberal hit, Your Bleeding Heart. And how could anybody forget Butch Open and the Butch Offs singing Wiki Up Hiccups. And of course, you get the greatest hit ever in recording history, Freddie Tail Light, and Before the Next Taco Bell Closes.
Well, it don't happen often, but the little man with the big voice out at the Heat Wave Cafe, Mr. J. Bob and his ramrods, are taking the weekend off. Probably going fishing, which is where I ought to be, but if I was, I wouldn't be here talking to you, would I? And to fill in, old Chada's brought in a band called the Metal Mountain Oyster Boys. Woo! Well, that's what it says. I ain't joshing you. It says here that they play country rock. Well, you know what kind of music country rock is, don't you? That's a worthless piece of...
My boyfriend is a cowboy. He rides the rodeo. He don't make much money, so I had to let him go.
Bob, you're gonna have to wear headphones to hear.
Was I off?
Yeah.
Oh, way off.
That was Mr. C.B. King with the Cattle Market Blues, and I'm Billy Ray Bucket, right here on KATL Radio. Well, if you've got the Cattle Market Blues, partner, remember for all your slaughtering needs, it's Jensen's Feeds. These fine people will redden up your steers and put you back in the black. Been here a long time, too. And they're mighty fine people. Just look for the red neon bleeding bull at the corner of 4th and Main in downtown Cattle Track, Arizona. Well, now it's time for the Cattle Call Board. Now, if you're down in the mouth or about to commit suicide, tune in the Humor Crisis Line. Remember, cut it right there. Okay?
Okay. Go ahead.
The first part sound okay?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to pick it up right here. Now it's time for the Cattle Call Board.
Bill, just a second.
I think where he goes into
Now there should be a pause.
break
Yeah.
there, 'cause
Yeah,
it
I
almost
think.
sounds like
I can't hear you.
I think.
go in.
Okay, I think we think there should be a
Break
little bit
on
of a
either
break
side.
between the announcements.
In Cattle Track, Arizona?
And then go in the break and maybe rustle your papers like you're getting a new set of
Okay,
papers.
good idea.
Yeah,
Good idea.
Yeah.
Do you want to take it over, or
I'd like to, if the first part sounded okay to everybody else, I'd like to keep the first part.
Right.
Okay?
Let's hear how Gary would do a Roy. How would you do a Roy? Roy is tall, muscular, well-respected, around the heat wave. He knows what he's talking about. He's no fool.
Okay, Bill, this is the Chicken Hawks confrontation with the rock band and the Dope Ropers at the Heat Wave. And this kind of sets it up here. Why don't you try a couple of the parts here, okay?
Okay. Are you going to be Roy?
Yeah, I'll be Roy, okay.
All right.
Hey, DR, come on over. Let me buy you a beer.
How's it going, cowboys?
Not bad. How about yourself?
Well, fair to middling, you know. Getting by.
Okay, that's really good on the voice now. What are you going to do on the heifer dust now? The heifer dust is really important as far as the
Okay,
Dope
now,
Roper goes.
what's going on in this heifer dust part?
Okay, they confront this rock and roll band who's playing rock and roll at the Heat Wave.
Okay.
Okay, and I want you to come across with a really strong heifer dust. That's his, of course, his battle cry.
Battle cry.
So why don't you try heifer dust?
Heifer dust.
That's perfect. That's
Okay.
excellent.
In 1956, it was James Dean. In 1967, it was Dustin Hoffman. In 1976, it was Sylvester Stallone. And now, it's Wonderful Russ in the making of a comedian, 1977. Now, for the first time ever on television, witness the trials and vicissitudes of today's new breed of comedy writer. Don't miss the stirring tribute, The Making of a Comedian, 1977.
Does the Razz create any jokes with retrospect to the advancement of color humor? Or more simply, what is the social significance of the Razz in the late 70s?
I'm glad you asked that. That is a good question. Now, I would say the existentialism of the humor of the triad of the equal part of humor versus comedy versus versus, you know.
Excuse me, Dan, thank you. We're going to have
I
to
think
break
it
right
has a
now.
lot to do with the...
No,
Excuse me, we're going to have to break now for this commercial
I would say
message.
the
Thank you.
existentialism of...
Howdy, folks. This here's Tex Hartburn at Tex Hartburn's Autorama out here on the Gila Monster Highway. If you're in the market for a used car, check out this dynamite deal. Got a 1964 Buick Electra Glide. This car has everything. Power windows, power brakes, power mirrors, power seats, and power to the people. It's got a 40-gallon gas tank, and you're going to need it. Tires have been rotated. There's air in the spare, and the price, get this, it's the best part. It's only $14.95. You heard right, cowboys. $14.95, the deal of a lifetime. And now for our Spanish-speaking friends, Jesus Zapato.
Gracias, Teco. This car we have here is a very big special. It has very much room for all your family and your wife's family. It is perfect for taking them to the drive-in or to mass. It's got air in the spare and mucho power. It's only $19.95 for us.
Thank you very much, Jesus. We say habla español here at Tex Hartburns, and remember, if you don't try us, one of us ain't gonna eat.
Guess we all reap what we sow. I hope you don't think I'm gung-ho. If I go too far, say whoa.
That was Waylon Benny's with Yesterday's Outlaws or Tomorrow's Fat Cats. And this is Billy Ray Bucket on KATL Radio from Cattle Track, Arizona. Howdy do to you, and we're mighty glad to have you with us this afternoon. Got a song now coming up for you. It's my kind of song about my kind of woman. Miss Tammy Hairnet singing, I'm Just a Woman on KATL Radio.
I'm just a woman, but I'll always love my man. Every night you go out drinking, raising Cain and loving women. I'm all alone with the children, unpaid bills and a dirty kitchen. And Women's Lib wants to take that all away. Yes, me, darling. Tomorrow used up. Abuse me, darling. I'm just a woman. Make your breakfast, lunch and dinner. Housework is great, it makes me thinner. On weekends you can watch TV, and don't you pay no mind to me. A lot of women today claim they want to be equal. They say they want to take jobs away from men and actually get paid the same wages for the same work. They claim they want to fight wars and get their heads blown off. They say they don't want doors open for them, and they don't want to be called Mrs. or put up on a pedestal anymore. Well, not me, darling. You don't have to worry about me. I'll always be right here by your backside waiting. And wait. And wait.
Wait, I can't take it anymore. Honey, you got it all wrong. That's not how it is today. It's like this. Now I'm fed up with all this crap about being inferior and stuff like that. I'm a woman and I know my place, but it ain't sick fiddle in the human race. It's a women's lib rag, and it's coming through. It's a women's lib rag, and it's coming through for me and you. Now it really don't matter if the law don't pass. We've set our sights and we're coming up fast. Of course those guys will do their bitching, but if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. It's a women's lib rag, and it's coming through. It's a women's lib rag, and it's coming through for me and you. Now I've heard tell about how there won't be no separate Johns. When the men start World War III, they'll be drafting both you and me, and even some talk about a common plot. As far as I'm concerned, that's all a crock. When it comes down to brass tacks, it's a double standard that'll get the axe. It's a women's lib rag, and it's coming through. It's a women's lib rag, and it's coming through for me and you. It's a women's lib rag, and it's coming through for me and for you.
That was Asleep on the Job with a women's lib rag. I think that's a communist-inspired song, but we like to air all views on KATL Radio. We'll be right back after this word.
They came from hell. Their throbbing engines spewing frustration and destruction in every town that crossed their path. Their tailpipes were hot and their pistons were pumping. The Moped Mamas.
Hop on, sucker, and I'll take you for a ride.
Their gaskets were loose and their heads were blown. The Moped Mamas.
Just a second, I'll get this thing started.
The Moped Mamas, starring Peggy Cass, Connie Francis, Margaret Mead, Helen Reddy, and a special guest appearance by Dr. Joyce Brothers. The Moped Mamas, now showing at a theater near you.
And now, KATL Radio presents the Humor Crisis Line, which is a public service of Cattle Radio from Cattle Track, Arizona, which is where you and I live. And now here he is with Humor Crisis Line, Wonderful Russ.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Humor Crisis Line, the show that puts a touch of joy into your normally tedious lives. I'm Wonderful Russ, and the crisis lines are open right now. Now remember, all of these calls are taken in complete confidence. If you have a problem, you're safe in calling us, because everything is confidential. The numbers are Sanchez 451, Sanchez 452, and Sanchez 453. The lines are open now, and here's the first call. Hello, Humor Crisis Line.
Is this the Humor Crisis Line?
Yes, it is the Humor Crisis Line.
I'm not happy.
What seems to be the problem?
My wife ran off. I've lost her. I tried to talk it over with a few friends of mine. I went down to Club Ubangi. We got kicked out of there. I'm just not happy. I'm not a happy man.
Okay, I think we need a joke for you. Just a second.
Can you help me?
All right. Here's one. I got it right here. Just you're feeling depressed, huh?
Thoroughly.
Well, J. Bob, here's one. Did you hear about the ship that sailed from Hong Kong with a cargo of yo-yos? It sank 164 times. Isn't that great?
Thanks a lot.
Another satisfied customer. Remember, these jokes are straight from Washington and federally approved, all tested by computer. There's another call now on Humor Crisis Line. Hello?
Hello, Humor Crisis Line.
You got problems?
Yeah. APS wants all my money, and my garage burned down, and my dog won't work. I'm gonna have to end it all.
Suicide prevention jokes. What's needed here, Herman? I got one for you. Looking over the rim of the volcano's crater, the American tourist remark reminds one of hell, doesn't it? The guide threw up his hands and exclaimed, "These Americans, they've been everywhere." Those idiots. Okay. That's it for humor. Oh, I'll give that again. I'm getting my mouth fixed Wednesday. That's it for Humor Crisis Line. Remember, these jokes are all tested by computer in Washington and federally approved.
Thank you very much, Wonderful Russ. That was Humor Crisis Line, a public service of Cattle Radio. And now we got some more music for you. Billy Ray Bucket right here on Cattle. And here it is, Diddly Squat. Get it.
I'm a lizard. You done left me all alone. Now I'm a boozer. You done chewed up my little bone. I guess that I'll just tack her in. But before I do, I just want to say one thing to you. sad and blue. You think you're gonna get lots of alimony too. You think you'll get our subdivision lot. Baby, you ain't got diddly squad. You think you'll get our brand new car. You think you'll get my built-in bar. You got your eyes on my mortgage boat. If you push it much further, that's all she wrote. You got a lawyer gonna sue me blind. He's gonna take everything and put me in a bind. Or you can have all that I bought, because you still ain't got diddly squat. I said, baby, you ain't got diddly squat. I said, baby, you ain't got diddly squat. Meditate on it.
Boy, that song makes you want to tap your feet. That's Diddly Squat on Cattle Radio. We got something great for you right now. I'm sure that you have heard of the Cattle Track Community Players. We have a fantastic radio show that they have put together right here for KATL Radio. It is called The Doper Roper. We are now proud to present the Cattle Track Community Players with the Doper Roper on KATL Radio.
Out in Arizona, deep in cactus land, the grass grows freely across the border sand. Dealers drive Cadillacs up to foothill doors with $100 bills stashed under all the floors. I guess they never heard about, I guess they never learned about the dope.